Opening a restaurant in the U.S. Win over landlords. 2 essential documents and negotiation tactics for lease success. Once you find a commercial space you like in the United States, it's time to begin lease negotiations with the landlord. You might picture a scene with tough negotiators pounding on the table and yelling to defeat their opponents with logic. But the reality is quite different and much softer. Typically, 2 real estate agents, one representing the landlord and the other representing the tenant, act as intermediaries. Since most of the negotiation happens through written documents, it's not uncommon to never meet the landlord face-to-face even after signing the lease contract. So, what does it take to turn this document-based negotiation to your advantage and secure your ideal location? In this article, we'll cover the 2 essential documents you need to prove your capabilities to the landlord, along with negotiation strategies to overcome a lack of past experience. When submitting your lease proposal for a property, there are 2 critical documents you must attach. The landlord will review these to evaluate whether you are a trustworthy and qualified tenant. Financial statement, personal asset and financial report. This document outlines the assets, liabilities, and net worth of your company or yourself as an individual. While it is ideally prepared by a certified public accountant, CPA, you can also create it yourself. A helpful agent will often guide you through the process. The key objective here is to demonstrate that you have sufficient funds to launch and operate the business. If your starting capital appears inadequate, the landlord won't even respond to your negotiation attempts. Starting from a shell empty space, Japanese restaurant, you will need at least $150,000 in startup funds, plus operating capital. Taking over an existing restaurant space, second-hand turnkey space, you will need at least $40,000 to $50,000 for renovation, plus operating capital. It is vital to show that you have at least these amounts ready. Naturally, the more funds you have, the more at ease the landlord will feel. Just as in Japan, owning real estate, such as a home, significantly boosts your creditworthiness. Resume, professional history and company overview. America is a culture of self-advocacy. If you submit a modest, overly humble resume in the Japanese style, the landlord may worry about your capacity and quickly move on to look for another tenant. While you should never invent lies, you should present yourself in the best possible light using facts. Do you hold a chef's license or professional certifications? Have you won company awards or culinary competitions? What is your past business background or track record of success? Do you have any English news articles featuring you or your business? Attach them if available. Include any points of interest that might catch the landlord's attention and actively highlight your strengths. What if the landlord hesitates because you are a first-time business owner or do not own property in the U.S.? Don't give up. You can bridge the gap in trust using the following strategies. Increase the security deposit. A landlord's biggest fear is that a tenant's business will fail, resulting in unpaid rent. To mitigate this risk, you can offer a higher security deposit at the time of signing. While it varies on a case-by-case basis, offering around 6 months' worth of rent as a deposit is often enough to put the landlord's mind at ease. The deposit will be returned at the end of the lease. Tip: if you don't want your funds tied up long-term, you can propose applying portions of the deposit as prepaid rent for specific future months, such as the 13th, 14th, 25th, 26th, 37th, and 38th months. Find a personal guarantor, cosigner. Have a third party with established credit in the U.S. act as a personal guarantor to guarantee your lease payments. Use creative problem solving. First-time business owners often start with few resources. If you don't have abundant capital, you have to rely on smart strategies to reassure the landlord. Brainstorm with your real estate agent to find creative solutions. Lease negotiation in the U.S. is not an emotional shouting match. It is a game of how effectively you can present your trustworthiness on paper. Sufficient financial proof, financial statement. A compelling resume, company overview. Flexible offers to cover risk, increase security deposit, etc. Prepare these 3 elements thoroughly to secure your dream restaurant location. For more videos, please like, share, and subscribe.